Hello, everybody. Welcome to Jen's Musings, episode one. And on this episode, I'm just sort of introducing the vlog. It matches the blog of the same name. I tried to start it earlier, so I have a channel with like one video in it, but it doesn't mention anything about the vlog. It's just sort of says it's a journal, so that one's just going to be separate. But this one is just going to be sort of my take on things in life, just all the tea I've dealt with in the past week, just, things I need to vent about, and just um, all different things about everyday life that I could just need to talk to, sort of journal style. Um, and it's just going to be a discussion of different things that I deal with in life and we all deal with in life. And so for this first one, I want to talk about Lyft drivers, and how scammers blow your phone up, and just sort of some vexations with work in my life. So to start off with rideshare like Lyft and Uber, sometimes the drivers just are so rude. They won't even like come to where the door is, and like if you ask them like, okay, what street are you on, because the building I'm in has three exits and I don't know which one to exit from so I could be where you are, they won't tell you. They act like they don't know what street they're on. And it's like, you drive rideshare for a living. There's no way you can't read some street signs or your GPS and tell me what street you're on. And they will ignore you when you say, this is how you get to the door that I'm at. Can you please come into this driveway? Because that's where I am. They won't do it. And then they drive away. I just had a driver that literally tried to get the $7 cancellation fee for refusing to pick me up when I gave him very clear, explicit directions of how to get to the door that I was at, because I didn't know where he was. Um, and he wouldn't tell me like what street he was sitting on. So instead of that, I'm telling him, okay, well, this is where I'm at. I don't know where you are, but this is where I am. Just pull into the driveway, and that's where my door is. And he would not come in. And then he kept saying, I'm on Highland, I'm on Highland. And it's midnight. I am not walking all the way down to Highland Avenue to where you are. You can drive up the little driveway and come and pick me up at the door, because I'm not walking that far in the dark late at night by myself as a 5 foot tall female. Not gonna happen. So I wasn't gonna put myself in harm's way because he didn't feel like driving up a damn driveway. Excuse my language. Um, so yeah, and he tried to get the cancellation fee, but it was his fault why the ride got canceled. So Lyft gave it back to me. Um, and I've had Uber drivers that argue with me that they're at the right place when they're literally not, because I'm sitting here looking at the street where you're supposed to be picking me up, and there's not a car, so you can't possibly be here. Um, and like literally had an Uber driver argue me up and down that his GPS was not wrong and he was in the right place because this is where the GPS said go. And I said, I don't care where your GPS told you to go, because that's not where I am. So what sense does it make for you to sit there and argue with me about your GPS being right when we're literally in two different locations? So it clearly cannot be right. Like the whole thing didn't make sense, because obviously, if I am not getting into your car and I don't see you where I am, that means you're in the wrong place. So yeah, I don't understand the drivers. And then like once you get in the ride, they are pretty much driving the way they drive on their regular normal time. Um, the way a lot of non-rideshare, non-public transit drivers drive. And bus drivers do the same. They drive the way a regular driver does. You know, kind of ignoring the speed limit a little when they're in a rush and um, you know, driving like they think they know, you know what I mean, like that swerving through the lanes, trying to go around cars, dipping through the traffic, you know what I'm saying, swinging around corners trying to hurry up and get where they're going, that kind of driving, that reckless kind of driving that a lot of people do in their regular um just personal driving life. These guys are trying to do it while they are working, driving for money, driving passengers around. You do not do that. You do not drive the regular way how you normally drive any other time when you are driving for a living. And this is what they do. And it really kind of drives me nuts that they think that they're supposed to do that just because they're in their personal car to do the Uber or Lyft. That does not mean you drive like you're on your personal time because you are on Uber's time or Lyft's time because you are driving for money. People are paying you to drive them safely from point A to point B. So that is my beef with the Uber drivers. And then with I have these scammers that will call, and if I decline the call or like hang up on it, they'll call right back and um it's the same thing over again. And I hang up and they call back. And I hang up and they call back. Or I will answer, tell them I'm not interested, hang up, and they will call me right back. And they have those robo dialers. So even though it's the same person on the extension, it's a different phone number every single time. So they literally will try to act like it's somebody else calling when it's the same person and they just picked up the next number in their robo dialer. And it's so frustrating. And then I kind of forgot the other one that I was gonna say, but I think I was gonna talk about just irritations at work. Yeah, that was it. And one of those irritations is my ADHD, which makes me forget things often. Um, and sometimes people just don't understand and they want to yell and scream and get mad at you and think that you're being lazy when really it's your ADHD. And then it's not just ADHD that I have fibromyalgia and I have chronic migraine and asthma and bipolar disorder and a bunch of other things. And all of these things make remembering and not being distracted and focusing and concentrating and getting things done extremely hard. And not only that, but then the fibro, the asthma, the irritable bowel syndrome, the chronic migraine, all of those cause me pain and like physical issues to where it's going to be very hard to focus on remembering to lock something or like a cart or whatever, or remembering to, put away some papers in a certain spot, or, just like remembering to do all of my walking tours at one job, or say, um, just the minutia of the job that I have to do. It's really hard to remember that if I'm in pain and my brain is all over the place because my ADHD is on 11. And my brain is fogged out from the fibromyalgia and my stomach hurts. And you know what I mean? Like by the time I'm having a symptom from every chronic illness that I have, plus all my mental illnesses, you're lucky if I'm going to remember where I put my phone or, a pen, let alone five things that I was supposed to do 5 minutes ago. Um, this is why I need to write things down, leave myself notes in my phone. I have the smartwatch and that has, timers and stuff that I can use. And I have to have, the things that I need to help me remember, like paper notes, um, phone notes, the alarms on my phones, voice memos, um, reminder notes inside the phone, just all of these things that I use on a regular basis to remember everything. When I have jobs that want to ban me from having these things that I need, like, say, the notes in my phone or a voice memo, um, because they think I'm on a phone call, is kind of going to interfere with my job because I'm actually not on a phone call. I'm just reminding myself to do something so I don't forget it 5 minutes later. Or I'm typing a note into the phone so I can remember to do this other thing when I walk the building in a few minutes. Or but it looks like I'm texting. So it just it gets dicey, and then that's what they think. They, well, you're texting and you're on phone calls when you should be working. And no, I am trying to remember everything the best way that I can. That is why sometimes I feel the need to get like doctor's notes saying that I this is a thing that I'm required, like an accommodation that I need, because otherwise they will deny me things that I absolutely need to get things done, and it's frustrating. And another thing is just the whole thing of I'm working for wages that are not enough to pay for everything I need to keep my health on track, like the right kind of food and the medications that I need and the right things to drink and um the uh remedies I need for, like, to keep my stomach calm, like, say, a bag of peppermints and you know a bottle of Pepto and whatever other supplement. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing costs money. Oh, and Lactaid pills, and like lactose free milk and stuff like that, because I'm lactose intolerant on top of the IBS. Um, so I get a double whammy when I drink milk. They both go crazy. The lactose intolerance and the IBS go crazy together. So I have to have the special milk I need, or those Lactaid pills. Um, and there's just a lot of special needs that I have, dietary and medication and supplement wise, to keep my health on on an even keel. And the wages that I'm earning are not enough to cover me affording them all of the time. So sometimes I'm going without some of the things that I need because of my low wages, which also sucks. And that's another way how work gets in the way with that. And that's another frustration I have with work. It's like, bust your butt, work as hard as you can to make not quite enough money to cover everything that you need to cover. Um, and it's extreme frustration. And one last thing is they also make it incredibly difficult to get support. As far as like assistance, they make it hard to get the food stamps. They make it hard to get Medicaid. They make it hard to get disability. Um, they make it hard to get assistive devices and like mobility aids and um, the things that people with chronic illnesses and disabilities need. And it is quite ridiculous because honestly, if they weren't making it so hard to get disability, that's what I would do, because it is this that hard to work for me right now with everything I have, all my chronic illnesses. It's absolutely incredibly difficult to work. So, um, with that, that's going to be my last point, and I will see you next time on another episode of Jen's Musings. Bye, everybody.